right here, we have a bye week, and I'll decide probably bye weeks more likely will be when you see the recruiting and what we're doing. And right here, I will just go through by position. Athletes. Kyle Burke is the only guy. Is the only guy we're going for, and he looks like a cornerback / wide receiver, just depending on where we need him at. So yeah, or quarterback. If I really, really want him at quarterback, I could, but he probably won't end up playing quarterback. So that's just one thing. That's one of the guys that we have here, and I'll show you guys where we're looking at in the top schools. As we're going up on his boards pretty good against Louisville. We still haven't offered him a scholarship yet? Oh wow, I thought we did by now. Yeah, we'll offer him a scholarship. So now we should fly up on his boards. Corey Harper, I decided not to go for him. Fred Matthews, as we are just stuck here against Iowa. And this guy, if I really did want him, I could go for Draymond Alvarez. I'll see how next week goes with Fred Matthews, and that will determine if I switch or not. And right here, yeah, this Andy Washington kid, he could be a very, very early commit. His Air Force is dropping like crazy on me. He's already at 42% locked. Cornerbacks, Darren Bell's the only guy we're going for here, as we are going up his board's pretty good too, and he's 41% locked too. A lot of these guys are blocking up pretty early this year. And then let's see how we're going here. We're going up by 50, which is still going up, and he's looking decent locked. I'm only going to talk locked percentages about guys that are looking like they could commit early. Not going for either one of these guys. Defensive end, George Darby is a guy I'm going for early because we start out in front, and he could be a very fast commit, and I'm hoping he is, but we're not going to be able to get Josh Johnson, which kind of annoys me. I was hoping that we would be able to. But George Darby, he's our main guy right there then. Chad Hall, though. We are flying up on this kid's boards, too. How are we doing on these other two guys? How far back are... Yeah, so... Yeah, I did make the right decision with going for Chad Hall. As he's the only one that I think we'd be able to keep up with, really. Luis Barr, we're down by 10. We're going down 10 on him. You know, since I do kind of want that early... I do want these early commits, so I will put that on Jake Jefferson... Wait. Which one of these guys am I close on? Yeah, I'll put it on Jake Jefferson then, and we should start flying up his boards. Tight ends, Bradley, we are slowly moving up on his. And then wide receivers, these two guys, I'm not putting any points on them yet. We're still going up in their boards. So these two guys, if I put points towards them, would probably almost commit on spot. See, Barrett Dixon, was he for? Oh yeah, he was just pure speed. That's why I liked him. Was that speed, but really other than that, and we have a lot of speedsters on the team, so I will be taking all those points off of him. And let me see about defensive end real quick. 400 points won't help him, but I know what 400 points would help. Getting these two guys to commit, because if I could get these two guys to commit, I just want to get commits early in the season. That way we know more what we have built here. As these guys, Danny Jenkins has the speed, and that's kind of what I'm looking at in him. Is he's fast as a lightning bolt. He'll get out of there and he'll just destroy teams. And Barrett Dixon, I'm kind of giving up on him, although in very early. Right here, I will be looking. What do we have? Week 6. Yeah, week 6 we'll be doing another recruiting. We do have Cal in this episode, we will be playing Cal. And then after that, we will be moving on to Baylor. And then we'll be having another week of seeing how recruiting is going. And that is something I do enjoy about this game, is recruiting and bringing in a great team and getting guys like Derek Reynolds. Since we're doing a recruiting video, I guess I might as well schedule these guys who are all ready to visit George Darby, Brad Lee, Fred Matthews, and Andy Washington. As some of these guys I will be going for visits very soon, just because I want to get them to commit as fast as possible, as we still are 7th. We are never going to get out of 7th. I can tell you that right now. 7th is just where we are stuck at. And I will just put these guys' points back real quick since I am already here. We'll give He's supposed to be at 200 and 200 only, but oh well. And right here, we will put the points. Kyle Brooks, so we get all of his 250 back. Top schools, we slowly went up that week. We're slowly advancing here. Fred Matthews, we did go up on his board a lot, and he's getting locked very quickly. But of course, because he's not looking to commit for a while, I will just schedule him week 14 against Arizona State. That way, right now, I think we'd be the last visit then, because I think that's how it works. Andy Washington, how's he? Oh yeah, this kid's very close to committing. If we can do it right, we could have him commit very soon. So I am going to schedule his visit against Baylor. That way we just get that done. I don't want to say done and out of the way, but I want to get him to visit very quickly. That way we can just put an end to him right. That way we can put an end to the race form very quickly and get him next week. He should be over 60% locked. Dan Ball, were you ready to... Oh, you're so ready to visit. Oh, wow. Darren Ball is very close to being ready to visit. Eric Heath, he's not there yet, but we are going up on his boards rather quickly, too. And we're getting ready for a recruiting battle again with him. And, crap, if I can... And then George Darby, we are going up on his boards rather quickly, too. But I'm not going to schedule a visit soon for him because of course, that game is... Because, of course, our lead with him isn't as big as it is with the free safety. I forget his name, but yeah, center. It wasn't a center, was it? No center. And actually, I'll go through some of these guys, see how things are looking. Let's look at Jake Jefferson. He's looking pretty good. We should get him very soon. And these two guys, oh wow. Yeah, these two guys, they'll commit soon probably. And then it's Bradley. And ooh, yeah, we need this visit. And we need it to go at the right time, which is Arizona State, if you ask me. It's the right time for this visit. And it's against a rival too, so a lot of those visits are being scheduled against rivals. And I just want a late visit, that way we get as many points as we can. And well, I'll see you guys in the game against Cal. Right here, after amazing first play from scrimmage, we get the ball right here, and oh, I see Kadeem Carey. Yeah, I see him, but I'm looking downhill at Austin Hill, who finds his way into the touchdown on the second play of the game. A 33-yard run by Derek Reynolds and then a 40-yard pass by Derek Reynolds finds us up 6-0. And right there, I know I could have dumped that off to Kadeem Carey, but why would I do that when I could throw it up to Austin Hill and end up going up 6-0, less than a little bit more, 32 seconds into the game. And Alabama barely beats Northwestern. I mean, barely. Northwestern just has to fight for that one. And as you see, Amari Cooper had a pretty good game. But one score. Wow. One score separates Northwestern and Alabama. And, gosh dang, if only if only Northwestern could have scored one more touchdown, that would help us out so much, because right now we're in week 4 and we're still ranked the same as we were in the preseason. That's how little change there's been amongst the top 10. No real top 7 upsets, at least. I don't know about 8, 9, and 10. I don't know about that, but top 7, I mean, it's been pretty basic. We even played a top 25 school, and they are still in the top 25. So that's the thing I don't get, is we play a top 25 school, yet some of these teams that haven't even played that good of teams, and they're still ranked ahead of us. And right here, gosh dang it, we see what's wrong with our defense again, as Zach Klein just tore us apart, sitting back in the pocket for hours. He could have been back in that pocket, and we're going in. It looks like we could be going into the end of the first quarter, in a 7-7 game against Cal. Of all teams, Cal. I mean, I know Ohio State, they lost to Virginia Tech this year, and they're still in the Final Four. But this isn't a Final Four. This is a national championship setup. Still under only 2 teams make it. But also, Richards, though, he has something to say about it being a close, about them getting crap. And as you see, we broke our old record set by Zachary in the championship in the bowl game. But this is 2 teams going up against each other at the end of the year. This isn't 4 teams. You don't lose to California and still make it to the national championship with the setup that they have. You don't do that. And right now, it's up to our defense if we do it or not this year. Because if we lose to Cal, I can tell you right now, what are we going to do against UCLA, Washington, Oregon, USC? What are all those teams going to do to us? How are we going to play against them? That's my question. Not how are we going to do against these smaller teams? No, it's the big teams that I'm scared of. And that might have something to do with the fact that we are getting beat all day. He didn't even need to sit back there, just poor coverage. It's starting to become a mix of both of them because now our safeties and cornerbacks are no longer playing good defense. I mean, this is terrible defense. And they're trading it in, and they're doing it because they know that there's no point in it because they're just going to have all day to sit back there. And it's annoying to me. Right here, basically, we had one of those tries that we had a lot last year where Kadeem Carey just ran the ball into the end zone. And we find ourselves up 21-7 over Cal. And we're slowly starting to pull away, and hopefully we can just keep them quiet. But UCLA is fighting with Utah. And Utah, they're fighting to prove that they're good enough to make it into the top 25 this year, and kind of scaring me a little bit while doing it. Like, I'm sitting here kind of shaking a little bit looking at this Utah team that I'm going to have to play later on in the year because they've taken out Michigan and they've taken out Michigan and possibly UCLA. If they take out UCLA, I'm going to be nervous because UCLA last year, we played them without Brett Hundley, and we had to fight like crazy to win that game. I think it was out without Brett Hundley. Right here, boom, right there. Once again, blown coverage is the story of this season. Is not the world's best coverage and not the world's best pass rush. And as you see, Zach Klein has 81 yards in 6 of 7. The best thing about Zach Klein is the fact that he will sit back there and get hit. And that's something I do like about him going against him is he will sit back there and wait in the pocket and get hit. And that's something we are going to be taking advantage of today. We've already gotten to him twice. Can we get to him a third time before halftime? Pettinato trying to get there. And right here, Triggs says they do have 290-plus wide receivers, which is a big problem for us as that will create problems. As of course, when you have 290-plus wide receivers, you're going to create problems for other teams. And right there, that's the 3rd sack. That should have been the 3rd sack. That's Tala's second. We've had one more. I could have swore, but oh well. I guess because I would have gotten the 3+ sacks bonus, and I didn't. So I'm going to assume that they only counted Tala's 2, which really annoys me because we had at least one more. I could have swore, but right here, Richards does a pretty good job. Right here, we got minute 30 left, and they leave James Bailey wide open, which probably was a smart move as they just drill him afterwards. And that's his 3rd or 4th drop pass this year, and it's starting to get annoying because he's going to pull one of these late in a game, and it's going to cost us a game. But also, he's a 5-star recruit. He's pretty good, and next year he's probably going to end up being slot or starter, depending on how much his catching rating improves. I mean, it literally cannot get any worse. But yeah, once he improves catching, he'll be an amazing player here at Arizona. He'll be amazing, as he does already have a touchdown, so you can't say that he can't catch at all. But right there, he has another touchdown. That's why I got him, is he knows how to get himself open. And when he does get himself open, he'll catch the ball. And wide open, he'll catch that ball all day. And thank the Lord right there, as we go up 28-7, I do believe. Yeah, 28-7. We go up. And I am doing this live. That's why I said I do believe, because I've terribly missed extra points before because I screwed up. Right there, Utah is ahead of UCLA. They're getting ready to go into half, and they already have an amazingly high score, which really makes the game look different from the game they had last week against Michigan, where the game ended 14-7. They've already doubled their UCLA has already tripled what Michigan got, and Utah's doubled what they got against Michigan already, which is just amazing if you ask me. The fact that they are doing that good, and ball just barely gets batted away right there, as we do stop them from going short. Really, first time today we've stopped them on one of those short passes, and first time this year too, because those short passes have been the Achilles heel of this team, along with a terrible pass rush, which actually does improve theirs. There's the three plus sacks. I think that probably comes on the fourth sack now that I think about it. So yeah, that's probably the third or fourth sack we've had. So yeah, I do consider this to be a good game so far. If you remember that from the last episode, if you remember what I talked about in the last episode, you get why I consider it to be a good game now. But yeah, I'm going to call a timeout too, because I want to see if I can put up another touchdown, because that's just, I know some people are going to say it's unsportsmanlike, but if you really want to win and you want to end up being highly ranked, you cannot have games like, you have to destroy some team along the way, and you have to have a statement game. And California just so happens to come right around the right point for us to have a statement game. And, oh wow, only 1 yard this quarter for California. That works out perfect for us. And now, let's see what they do on James Bailey out here. Let's see. Oh, that could have gone very bad. Very bad that could have gone. Oh, wow. I'll admit, that was my bad. Ooh. As I take a deep sigh of relief after throwing a terrible ball. But James Bailey, once again, has man coverage, I think. And, yeah, he has man coverage. Oh, but they do bring another guy onto him, I was going to say. Oh, wow, that's dumb. Yeah, we will call a timeout, and I am going to try and get one more play off. It cannot take as long as that last play, though, as they do tell me to take the 36-yard field goal. I don't know if our field goal kicker can hit that, and that sounds terrible, but he doesn't have the world's best strength, and also he's a freshman. So I want to see if I can get one more play off and set him up perfect. And I do get one more play off. 3, 2 seconds left, and like I said, I wanted to see if I could get one more play off, and that cuts 6 yards off of that. And right here, Chris Palmer did have the distance, but not a lot. 36 yards, he probably would have barely made it. And that tells you something about our kickers, because we've had 2 back-to-back poor kickers from distance. And we'll have this kid for 4 more years, though. But next year, he should improve a lot. And that's all that you can hope, is that he improves amazingly. He should. Quite frankly, I feel he should improve tremendously. And right here, you see an amazing kick right there. As that puts us down, puts him at the 20-yard line right there, but not too amazing. 25-yard line. Not too amazing, but still pretty good, considering the fact that our kicking core isn't the world's greatest this year. Right here, another display of poor defense, as we are having them a lot early on in halves. Early on in halves and quarters, it seems to be when we have them. Is early in the third and early in the first is when we see that defensive lapse. And we cannot have that against any more Pac-12 teams. We need to put an end to that right here. And it has to end today. Because think about it, we have Marquise Lee later. Marquise Lee will destroy us. I don't know who Oregon's quarterback is, so I can't really say if he'll destroy us or not. I don't know if he's any good. But I'm going to assume he is. I mean, he's starting for Oregon, so I'm going to assume that he's good. But right there, as we do get back to Irving right there, and we stop, and Tala gets the hit. And that gives us some breathing room right there as we do get him down at the 7-yard line. Ooh, that's just enough breathing room. And I'm going to bring the Overstorm Brave right here. We still have the whole end zone covered. Never mind, we're going to go to man defense, actually. As I didn't like the look that they put out there. But Romero just destroys Irvin. Right there, Romero. The freshman outside linebacker that we noticed late in the year. Like, towards last half of the year, we noticed this kid, and I looked at him and I thought, he could be a pretty good outside linebacker for us in the future. And I looked, next thing I knew he looked like a starter for us year one. So now he is now about a year later, well, a little bit less than a year later, he's out there starting right outside linebacker for this Arizona team who's in the top 10, and actually he's making pretty good plays for a freshman. And Washington and Stanford are in one heck of a battle. Stanford, oh my gosh, didn't they just hire a new coach too? I think they did. I think they got rid of David Shaw last year, but oh my gosh, not having a good start here either. Has Washington State, no disrespect, but Washington State does not have the history that Stanford does. And Stanford normally does pretty decent, but here they're not looking too good this year, at least so far. But yeah, maybe they'll change that later on in the year, but I don't think we play them this year. Right here, earlier, Kadeem Carey went down with an injury, and he wasn't having a great game. And I'll be the first one to admit, he wasn't having a great game. Part of it was because we were passing a lot. But oh, thank the Lord, it's only a back spasm. So I was going to say, if it was like a 1 or 2 week injury, we were going to be kind of scratching our heads for that Baylor game. Like, what do we do now? And, well, I don't know what we would do without Kadeem Carey, because, I don't know, he just provides that spark for us. And Alvarez out there, we will change the play, not just because Alvarez out there, but also because, I don't know, I just don't feel comfortable with Cormier out there. He hasn't proved himself to be a good enough power back to really run in late game situations. So, I just don't have that trust built with him yet to put the ball in his hands at that point in time. I'd rather take my chances throwing the ball. And oh my gosh. And Derek Reynolds gets out of the pocket, but not far enough for the first down, as he only gets 3 yards. Just 4 yards short. And he actually has 81 yards. Cal has done an amazing job today, because we do not have a single runner who's gotten over 100 yards. And that's the first time. That's like the second or third time in this series that has happened. So, that tells you something. We're in the second season. This is the third game of the second season, and we had 14 games in the first season. And this is maybe the second time that we've had Kadeem Carey not get 100 yards rushing. And as you see, we've done a great job with interceptions, fumbles, and pass breakups. Amazing job there. Yeah. We haven't had the world's best game in the secondary, and we haven't really all year. All year has been a bad news secondary and a bad news front four, really. And Holiday, though, I will say something about Holiday. Next year, him being I think he's a possible starter. Him being a possible starter might not be a bad thing, because I've seen what he's done this year. So far in this game, he's stopped, I think, 2 touchdowns off of big hits. I mean, just destroyed the... Oh my... That's what pisses me off. Is we had a guy sitting right there, and he ignored the ball, ignored the fact that he had a guy cutting right across his face that we all knew was going to catch the ball. He just didn't care enough to stop it. And then McKnight just screws up right here. And now we freaking allow a touchdown on that, and that just pisses me off. I'm sorry, but this is back-to-back games where we've allowed 300 plus yards receiving. By far our worst 2 games in the secondary of this series. So by far, Cal's created the worst game of the series by far. Worst game of the year by far. Just a outright terrible performance. And on top of it, they've also done a great job defensively. Overall, worst offensive and defensive performance of the series, even though we've had games where we've had less points. This is the one game I look at and I'm like, oh, wow. They just outdid us. They just shut down basically everything that we stand for. I love having an amazing defense. Not this year. I just haven't been able to get it together defensively because I hate getting burned on the pass. Because this year we've allowed, like I've said, back-to-back 300-yard passing games. Think about it. Last year, what really saved us in some of our games against teams like USC? We stopped the pass game. Late in the game, we could make a stand against their passing game. This year, different story. And Kadeem Carey does get the touchdown as he gets 36 yards in that drive, and I think that does put him over 100 yards on the day. I think it does. And now we just basically, the game's been over, but that just guarantees that it's over. As we go up 41-18 on California, and man, I'm sorry, but I'm still pissed off. We've played Miami. We just got really lucky against Miami, and they didn't do a lot of terrible stuff to us. They could have really put a damper on this season. Cal, if they could have done what they have done so far in this game, if they could have done that early in the game, oh, we're looking at one heck of a game right now. And Pettinato does get back there, though, and gets the 6th sack and his 3rd of the day. Thank the Lord. I am sorry, but right now we have not been able to get to the quarterback at all. And they're going to spike the ball right here. And basically what that's saying to us is, hey, we're going to score another touchdown on you. We don't care what you say. And honestly, Babish, though, as I looked at him, Babish is who I'd be targeting right now. I'd be throwing a deep ball against Babish because he hasn't been able to do jack today. He's gotten beat back-to-back games on deep plays. And I'm sorry, but back-to-back plays, deep plays being allowed by him really has just set me in a bad mood with Babish. And it's not that he's just... And it's not like he's... And it's just one of these things, if he has a quicker step or two or a little bit more heart, it's not him getting beat then. Then it would be, okay, one heck of a run. It would be one heck of a completion if it was complete. Instead, these ones are really easy. Or sometimes really good completion, sometimes not. But right as you do see, I am going to try and rub it in a little bit. And why did I throw that? Why did I throw that? Why did I throw that ball? Oh my gosh, if I would have waited a little bit longer, I would have had people wide open and would have been able to put up another touchdown. But Kadeem Carey does get over 100 yards. Thank the Lord. They do not shut him down completely. But we have gotten saved on a lot of stuff today. And our offense is going to be the savior this year. I can tell you right now, 2 games they've saved us from embarrassing defeats. Losing to Miami wouldn't have been terribly embarrassing, but it wouldn't have been good either. Losing to Cal, no offense to Cal, but after what we did last year, we should have walked in there and we should have destroyed them. But instead, it's one heck of a game. Well, not one heck of a game, but they still make it look like a much closer of a game than what it actually was. And you do see Miami loses by 1 point to Nebraska. Oregon State loses by 3 to USC. So basically, there goes our shakeup that we wanted to see happen there. We really wanted to see a shakeup in that game, but we don't get it, and that's how this week ends. So we end week 4 with a 3-0 record. Until next time, like, comment, and subscribe.